Amelia, you must be tired after everything. The paperwork did take longer than expected today. Did something come up when you were filing them? Just the usual bureaucracy. They needed extra documentation I wasn't expecting. But you must be tired too, Sarah. Thank you for all your help. Are you holding up okay? I'm fine. I know these past few months haven't been easy for you. More importantly, how was the paperwork? Has everything gone through? I'm just finished, actually. This really marks the end of everything related to my husband. The funeral, the inheritance paperwork. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. The lawyer mentioned there were quite a few assets to sort through. Yes, though most of it was straightforward. The house was the main concern. Tom's father's estate was quite substantial. Was the paperwork complicated? It was challenging, but manageable. I'm just glad it's over now. When he passed, I wasn't sure what to do, but thanks to Tom and you, we got through it. You know we're always here to help, Amelia. You've both been so supportive through everything. Speaking of support, I have to ask, are you really transferring the house deed to Tom? Yes, I've already completed the paperwork, though since we're living together, nothing really changes. It's just that Tom's name is on the deed now. The house has so many memories. Are you sure about this decision? The timing felt right. Tom's been managing most of the maintenance anyway. I see. Don't worry about it. Look, I never know when I might join my husband. I thought it would be better to handle this early. That's all there is to it. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I just thought since the rights have been transferred, this would be perfect timing. Perfect timing? For what? Well, you've done your part, taking care of the house all these years. What do you mean by that? I don't like beating around the bush, so I'll be direct, Amelia. I want you to move out. What? What are you talking about? Why this suddenly? It's not sudden for me. I've been waiting for this. Waiting for what exactly? Tom and I have been discussing this for a while. Living together indefinitely would be difficult. When Tom's father was alive, you were here to care for him, but what happens when you need care? That would be troublesome. I understand that concern, but why should that mean I have to leave? This is my husband's and my house. I've lived here ever since Tom was born. No, long before that. Since my husband and I decided to start a family, this has been my house for decades. Was your house? Things change, don't they? What are you implying? But Tom's name is on the deed now, isn't it? So this house belongs to us now. You have no right to complain. What? Does Tom know about this? He's the one who suggested transferring the deed in the first place, but I can't believe that he could do such a thing. Like I said, Tom knows. In fact, that's why we manipulated you into transferring the deed. Sarah, you've always been so kind to my husband and me. Why would you do this? Let's be honest, it wasn't entirely out of kindness. I did what I had to do. What do you mean? Oh, it was exhausting, keeping you both happy. You've been deceiving us this entire time? Yes, all this time playing the perfect daughter-in-law. It gets tiring. So, everything was an act? Don't make it sound so awful. Tom and I just inherited the house from his parents. And now we're getting rid of the old bag who's become a burden. We're not doing anything wrong. I need to talk to Tom about this. Go ahead, he'll tell you the same thing. I understand what you're saying. I'll talk to Tom about our future arrangements. Is that acceptable? If you insist on dragging this out. I don't think it'll make a difference, but do whatever you want. I just want you gone as soon as possible. Please take care of it. I never thought you'd show this side of yourself. Well, now you know. The deed is done, so there's no point in pretending anymore.
Mom, you're not home yet? Didn't you finish the paperwork?
I needed some time to think.
Is everything okay? Did something happen at the office?
I'm on my way now, but more importantly, did you hear from Sarah? Is it true that you are agreeing with what she's saying?
Sarah? What did she say to you?
About me moving out of the house.
Oh, about moving out of the house. Yes, that's true. I've been discussing it with Sarah, and I think it would be better for you.
So you're really going along with this?
Going along with what exactly?
Better for me? I'm being kicked out of my own home. How could that be better?
Kicked out? Mom, what are you talking about?
Sarah made it very clear.
Come on, don't put it that way. This was always the plan once I got the deed. By the way, I've already packed your things. Check if I missed anything when you get back.
You're even packing my things without asking?
Well, the contractors need to start soon.
So you're serious about this? Were you and Sarah both just disgusted by us? Was living together a mistake?
Disgusted? What are you talking about? That's not it at all.
Sarah said you both planned this.
Planned what?
Don't be so obvious. That's why you're trying to kick me out, right?
Wait a minute. Something's not adding up here. What exactly did Sarah tell you?
Exactly what you'd expect. That you're both tired of living with me and want me out. Keeping only the house. You feel the same way as Sarah, don't you?
No, that's wrong. Besides, we've already discussed moving out with you before.
What do you mean?
Remember our conversation last month?
About the house repairs?
This house is pretty old, right? It's showing its age. Instead of repairs, I've explained several times that moving would be better.
Come to think of it, we did have that conversation.
Right, and I said once I got the deed, we'd demolish it. I've already talked to the contractors. During that time, you'll need to stay somewhere else.
Oh, so that's what you meant by moving out.
Did you think I was abandoning you?
That's what Sarah implied.
Well, moving out might not be the best way to put it. I haven't told Sarah about the house yet, but since she knew you were leaving, I thought you might have discussed it.
No, I never mentioned it. Sarah apparently planned to take over the house, saying I was just a burden who needs to leave.
She said what?
That you both manipulated me into transferring the deed.
Wait, what? What the hell? Is that what she was thinking?
Well, you did say living together would be difficult. Aren't you on Sarah's side?
Mom, stop right there. I never said anything like that, or even thought about it for a second. Let me be clear about this. The difficulty was about this house, not living together. This place isn't wheelchair accessible or anything, right? As you get older, we'll need a proper setup. Let me be clear, I have no intention of stopping our living together.
Oh, I see. So Sarah just jumped to conclusions.
These weren't conclusions, these were her own plans.
What will you do?
Still, this isn't something I can overlook. Mom, go ahead with the moving preparations. I'll deal with Sarah.
Are you sure?
About confronting Sarah? Absolutely.
Well, this might cause problems between you two.
There's no question about it. Now that I know Sarah's true thoughts, I need to take appropriate action.
I understand. I'll leave that to you then.
Mom, I'm sorry you had to go through this. I can't believe that that's what she was planning this entire time.
It's not your fault.
Yeah. We'll sort this out, Mom. Just trust me.
Tom, your mother just left. Thank you so much.
Thank you for what?
Don't be modest. This worked out perfectly.
What worked out perfectly?
For helping kick out that old hag, as expected of my husband. You must have convinced her. She wouldn't have just listened to me, so that really helped. Now we can live in this house together.
Is that what you think is happening?
Of course, we finally have the house to ourselves.
Together? What are you talking about? You need to leave too. The demolition is starting soon. We can't demolish the house with you living here.
What? Demolition? What are you talking about?
Did you think we were keeping this house?
Of course we're keeping it. Why wouldn't we?
Exactly what I said. We're demolishing the house and selling the land. So this house won't be yours and neither of us will live here.
This isn't funny, Tom.
I'm not joking.
Wait, why demolish it? We finally got rid of that annoying old lady. Why would you do this?
Got rid of? That's my mother you're talking about.
You know what I mean. We don't have to pretend anymore.
I never said this house would be ours. You just assumed that on your own.
That's not the point. You agreed with me, didn't you?
About what exactly?
About getting your mother out.
About kicking my mother out? I was shocked when I heard about that from her. I didn't think you were such a terrible person.
Terrible? I did this for us.
For us or for yourself?
What's so terrible? It's better for us to use the house than having an old person living here. I didn't say anything wrong.
Listen to yourself right now.
I'm being practical.
What do you think my mother is? The fact that you don't think this is wrong shows how wrong you are. This house isn't here for your benefit. Don't misunderstand that.
But why demolish it? That's such a waste. We finally got this house.
Stop saying we got this house.
But the deed...
I told you this house isn't yours. It's despicable to think you can take someone else's property and kick them out to get it.
This doesn't make sense. I can't accept this.
Your acceptance isn't required.
We need to talk about this properly.
You don't need to accept it. I have the rights to this house now. Once I decide to demolish it, you have no say in the matter. Especially since you'll soon be a stranger to me.
Stranger? What do you mean?
Think about it.
You can't mean.
After hearing about this from my mother, I've made my decision. I'm divorcing you. I can't continue being family with someone who can't respect my family.
Divorce? Over this?
Over your true nature.
Wait, hold on. First the sudden demolition and now divorce? This is impossible.
The papers are already being prepared.
You can't be serious.
That's your problem, not mine. The movers should be coming soon for your remaining things. Once they're gone, leave. Goodbye.
You're choosing your mother over me?
I'm choosing decency over deception.
Tom, wait, Tom!
The movers will be there in an hour. Make sure you're ready.
What am I supposed to do about this? About which part? The house demolition or the divorce with Tom? You know exactly what I mean. I'm afraid I don't. Both, obviously. Why should I have to go through this? You seem to think I have some control over this. Of course you do. You turned Tom against me. Well, setting aside the house issue, the divorce is clearly your own doing. There's nothing I can say about that. My own doing? You're the one who told him everything. I only told him what you said to me. This is ridiculous. There is no way Tom would choose an old hag like you over me. You must have said something to him. Your true feelings are showing again. Don't act innocent. You planned this. I've told you I didn't say anything. Besides, I think your premise is wrong. This isn't about Tom choosing me over you. This is about the consequences of your actions. What consequences? I didn't do anything wrong. You don't consider trying to take someone's home wrong? Stop with the lecture. The demolition crew really came and kicked me out. Then Tom shows up with divorce papers. How am I supposed to handle losing both my house and a husband at once? Your house? When was it ever your house? The deed was transferred. To Tom, not to you. We're married. What's his is mine. That's the result of your own actions. If you try to take someone else's property, you can't complain when you lose something yourself. I deserve that house after everything I've done. Is this how a mother-in-law should act? I've been a dutiful daughter-in-law, taking care of you diligently, and this is how you repay me? Taking care of us, or waiting for your chance? I did everything right. I played my part perfectly. So that's your true feelings. In that case, neither Tom nor I owe you anything. Why not? All my effort was wasted. I deserve something in return for taking care of you. What's wrong with that? You really don't see the problem, do you? The only problem is you. Gratitude is something to be felt, not demanded, and it certainly doesn't give you the right to disrespect others. That's why you're in this situation. You should reconsider your attitude. My attitude? What about yours? Don't act so high and mighty just because you're the mother-in-law. That mansion should have been mine. I'll never forgive you for interfering. You still think I interfered? Obviously. Tom would never treat me like this otherwise. I don't need your forgiveness. Either way, the house will be demolished and you and Tom will divorce. No amount of complaining will change that now. That's right. The house being demolished and the divorce are your fault. So take responsibility and do something about it. You can still fix this. What exactly do you expect me to do? Talk to Tom. Make him change his mind. Were you listening? The cause lies with you, not me. There's nothing I can do. You say that, but you must have poisoned Tom against me. That's why he suddenly brought up divorce. Your actions poisoned him against you. Stop avoiding responsibility. Believe what you want to believe. What you choose to believe is your freedom. It's not my place to say anything. What's with that tone? Are you saying I'm the one who's wrong? I'm glad you're finally becoming self-aware. Learn from this experience and be more careful about your choices in the future. The future doesn't matter. I'm in trouble now. And whose fault is that? Yours! All of this is your fault! Including your current troubles, this should be a lesson. As your former mother-in-law, I pray for your future happiness. Though I don't know how effective prayers from a burdensome old bag might be. Don't mock me! Goodbye, Sarah. I hope you find what you're looking for. Subsequently, Sarah and Tom divorced. Though Sarah opposed it until the end, she finally agreed when Tom showed his willingness to go to court. No compensation was required, but losing both her husband and home at once left Sarah in a difficult financial situation. The divorce proceedings were surprisingly quick. Sarah tried to claim she deserved part of the property value, but since the house was already slated for demolition and the deed transfer happened during marriage, her claims didn't hold up. In the end, she was left with only her personal belongings. Sometimes I wonder if she really thought she could take the house from us. Her plan seemed so short-sighted. Assuming that just because Tom's name was on the deed, she could claim ownership and force me out. Perhaps she never understood that family bonds aren't so easily broken. I hear she's now living with her parents, but having grown accustomed to doing nothing during our time together, she's apparently troubling her parents by refusing to work. If this attitude continues, she might eventually be abandoned by her parents too. But that's something she'll have to realize on her own. As for Tom and me, we sold the land after demolishing the house and used the money to build a new home. We still have some of my husband's inheritance, and Tom has his own career. As long as we live modestly, we should have no problems. I hope Tom finds a new wife before I join my husband, but the wounds from Sarah are still fresh. I'll leave that to Tom's own feelings while I spend my remaining years in peace. Sometimes I think about what Sarah said, about deserving the house for her years of service to the family. She never understood that family isn't about keeping score or expecting rewards. It's about genuine care and respect. Perhaps that was the real lesson in all of this. In the end, we didn't lose a house, we gained clarity. And sometimes that's worth more than any property could ever be.